Hey everyone, Jimmy here. Welcome back to the channel. Happy Wednesday. I didn't take any trades yesterday and I was out of town on Monday, so today I actually did take a trade. It was a beautiful short position on Electronic Arts, ticker EA. I want to show you the entry, the exit, the logic, the daily chart. I want to show you the resistance and support levels. I want to go through it all with you. And then at the end of the video, I want to update you on the stock that we picked to watch for the week. We picked it on Sunday. I'll link the video so you can take a look at that and see why we picked this stock. I want to talk about how it's performing, where its profit targets might be, or if it's just underperforming. So let's jump in. Okay, as you can see, I've got EA up on the daily chart, and I want to start here because I want to show you a top-down approach to how I found or how I became interested in this stock. As you can see on EA, here's the 200 simple moving average, and what's super appealing about it right now is you can see that it had a rejection right here. It pushed up and got rejected off the 200 SMA, and then it just recently did the same thing and got rejected. So today when it opened, let's flip over to, let's maybe go to the 5-minute chart. So you can see that overnight this pre-market sort of area in here wasn't that significant. Not much happened with EA overnight. But when it did open, it pushed down pretty hard, which tipped me off for a 3-bar play because it was sort of an igniting candle. Then things started to kind of pause a little bit here. And if you look at the 15-minute chart, let's zoom that in. So check this out. This is exactly what happened. Big push down, igniting candle, pushed down to a low of 93.63 and then just stopped. Next candle opened, pushed up, then the sellers came in and pushed it right back down, and that's indicated in the story of this candle by looking at this upper wick. So big topping tail upper wick shows that the sellers came in and pressed it back down. It closed there. Then it opened here, pushed up again and got rejected back down. At that point I said, I think this could be setting up for a 3-bar play. Now one thing I liked in addition to that is if I come back over here and I zoom out a little bit, you can see that this igniting candle pushed down and broke all of yesterday's low levels, and it broke all pivots and low levels on the day before. You can see the lowest point in the last 2 days was right about 94.05, and that igniting candle broke that 94.05. And just for visual, I'll just draw a line. So you can see that igniting candle came in, took out that low, paused. I placed my order to go short at 93.62, and when it broke, I got filled. I got a couple pennies slippage, and let's take a look at some screenshots real quick from today, just to kind of make a little more sense. So right here, but if I go back to I think the very first one, so right here you can see this one I got triggered in on. So you can see my order, I got triggered in. I placed a 50-cent stop on this. So this candle right in here, the small guy, let me see if I can zoom it in a little. So the igniting candle pushed down, we got the pause candle, and then the 3-bar play, the extending candle. So when this candle broke that level, I was triggered in. I had a stop placed at 50 cents and a take profit, a stop limit order take profit at $1. So this was the first screenshot that I got in. I got 100 shares. You can see I'm up $15 right here on this one. So that was the initial part of this. Then if we look onward, you can see that after we pushed way down to 92.85 and I was almost to my 2-to-1 profit, we got this big bounce. But my trading plan says that once we get to 1R on the trade, I move my stop loss from 1R to 0.5R. So I move it up. So I had a 50-cent stop originally. Once this gets to 1R in price action, I will move it to a 25-cent stop. So then I only have half an R of risk on the trade. Then as we get beyond 1.75 R, I'll move it down to break even. So right in here, this is looking really, really good, and then it bounced on me, and then it came almost back to my break even point. Basically, it did, right to my break even, and then rolled to continue on. And that was shown in this one. So we got this big push up, and then this roll over to go south, and I think those are all 5-minute charts. Yeah, so let's look at the 15-minute chart that we had here. So you can see on here, this 15-minute candle came in and pushed all the way back up here, basically to break even, where I got in. So it told me that moving my stop to break even can be a little dangerous when you're only up 1 R. So I go to 0.5 R, that's my trading plan. So I stuck with that, and after this push up, I left it alone. I went on, moved on to other stocks, looked at other things to let my plan trade out and play out. It rolled over and then just started pushing down. Put in one 15-minute candle down, it gapped down, put in another one down, opened up, put another big one in. And on this big press, we were sort of hanging, and then it pushed really hard. And in that push is where I took my profit and ended up the day. I took 1.88, almost 1.9 R out of the trade, and it worked really, really well. Then it continued on to a low of 92.15. So this did really, really well today. Then it bounced, and now it's continuing down even lower. So you could have held this one all day, and you'd be looking really good. So that's what happened on EA today. Very profitable trade. Put me up for the week. And now I want to go on and look at the daily chart. Let's take a peek at MDB. This is the stock that we picked on Sunday to watch this week. And I just want to catch up with you guys and review it and to answer questions, see if anyone has any comments, any issues with the trade so far. But what we were saying was it's nice and clean because it's pushing up to this overhead resistance, consolidating, and then ripping up. Hitting this level, pulling back, consolidating, and then ripping. So when this happened, we had said on Sunday, we said watch for this thing to pull back, and as we get closer to this pivot point, look for some sort of pattern to possibly go long. So sure enough, we got this big pullback, and now we got this little doji candle coming in. So it starts to make me curious if we're going to start to maybe roll over and head north. Big pullback over the last couple of days, and then today was very much sort of consolidation quiet. Now here's something to watch. Let's go back to the daily. Yeah, see, we still have the 200 SMA below us, so we're good there. We have the pivot here, and we have the high now up here. So I can actually move this out of the way just for now. So we've got nice room to the upside. We're closing in on this pivot point, so I think that tomorrow or maybe Friday, if we pull back a little lower, I would be curious to look for that pattern to go long. Now here's the other thing. As you're watching this, if we gap up tomorrow above this doji candle, that's a good sign to go north, to look for a pattern to take it to the long side. I don't know that we're going to pull back further, so I'll watch to see this go north. We'll just kind of keep an eye on it for tomorrow. Let's look at the 5-minute real quick just to see what that looks like. Yeah, you can see the last 2 days, it's just sort of been consolidation. So we'll watch it going into tomorrow, but a lot of it will depend on if it gaps up or gaps down. And then watching the overall market. Is the SPY and the Qs, are they up or are they down? And that can help you make your decisions on how you want to trade MDB. But anyway, hope you guys had a green day. Thanks for stopping in. If you have any questions, post them below, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks.